The Los Angeles night was thick with fog as we finally arrived. The building loomed, a monolith of shadow against the bruised, darkening sky. This wasn't just an abandoned hospital, it was a monument to endless suffering. I could feel it, a pressure in the air, heavy, oppressive and cold. We were walking into the jaws of something truly evil and sinister. The air inside was stale, thick with the smell of decay. Paint peeled from the walls like dying skin. The silence was unnerving, broken only by the drip of water somewhere in the darkness. Each step echoed, a drumbeat of fear in the stillness. This place was a graveyard, not just of bodies, but of souls. We entered a room, empty except for a rusting gurney. The air grew cold. I felt a prickling on the back of my neck, the unmistakable sensation of being watched. Something was here, unseen but palpable. It was an oppressive force, filled with anger and despair. This was the energy of countless tormented souls trapped within these walls. This hospital, I learned, was a place of unspeakable suffering. Built in the 1920s, it housed the city's most desperate cases. Disease, injury, madness, all found their end within these walls. Whispers of the past clung to the air, stories of pain and fear. The demonic energy here was fueled by this history, a vortex of negative emotions. A fire, decades ago, had claimed the lives of dozens of patients. The flames spread rapidly, consuming everything in their path. The hospital, once a place of healing and hope, turned into a nightmarish inferno. The fire alarms blared, but the chaos was overwhelming. Nurses and doctors tried desperately to save their patients, but the smoke was thick and visibility was almost zero. The fire department arrived, but it was too late for many. The stories spoke of locked doors, of screams swallowed by the flames. Patients, unable to escape, pounded on the doors, their cries for help echoing through the hallways. Some say the doors were locked intentionally, a sinister act that sealed their fate. The corridors, once bustling with activity, were now silent save for the crackling of the fire and the distant wails of those trapped inside. The energy of that night was palpable, a wave of terror and agony. Survivors recount the overwhelming sense of dread that filled the air. The hospital, now abandoned, still holds onto that energy. Visitors often speak of feeling an oppressive weight, as if the walls themselves are imbued with the sorrow and pain of that tragic night. The beds, once places of rest, now seem like relics of suffering. The demonic presence fed on it, growing stronger with each passing year. Paranormal investigators have reported strange occurrences, from flickering lights to disembodied voices. Some claim to have seen shadowy figures lurking in the corners, watching them. The presence is malevolent, feeding off the fear and anguish that still lingers. Each year, the stories grow more chilling, as if the entity is gaining power. This place was a scar on the city, a festering wound of pain. The community has tried to move on, but the memories of that night are hard to erase. The hospital stands as a grim reminder of the lives lost and the suffering endured. It is a place where the past and present collide, where the echoes of tragedy still resonate. The city may have healed, but the scar remains, a testament to the horror that unfolded within those walls. We pressed on deeper into the heart of the hospital. Each step echoed through the empty halls, a haunting reminder of the desolation that surrounded us. The walls seemed to close in, narrowing with every stride, as if the building itself was alive, breathing and watching our every move. The flickering lights cast eerie shadows, dancing on the peeling paint and cracked tiles. The air grew colder, the pressure more intense. It was as if the very atmosphere was thickening, making it harder to breathe. Our breaths became visible, small clouds of mist in the frigid air. The cold seeped into our bones, chilling us to the core. The silence was deafening, broken only by the occasional creak of the old building settling. I felt a weight on my chest, a suffocating dread. It was an invisible force, pressing down on me, making it difficult to move, to think. My heart pounded in my chest, each beat a painful reminder of the fear that gripped me. My mind raced, filled with thoughts of what might be lurking in the shadows, waiting to pounce. The demonic energy was almost tangible now, a swirling vortex of despair. It was a malevolent presence feeding off our fear, growing stronger with each passing moment. The shadows seemed to come alive, twisting and writhing, forming shapes that defied explanation. It was as if the very fabric of reality was being torn apart, revealing the darkness that lay beneath. It pressed against me, trying to force its way into my mind. I could feel it probing, searching for a way in, a crack in my defenses. It whispered to me, dark, insidious thoughts that threatened to overwhelm me. I fought to keep my sanity, to hold on to the last vestiges of hope. But it was a losing battle. The darkness was relentless, unyielding. This place wanted to break me, to consume me. It was a living nightmare, a place where hope came to die. The walls seemed to pulse with a dark energy, a malevolent force that sought to devour everything in its path. I could feel it closing in, tightening its grip, suffocating me. But I couldn't give in. I had to keep fighting to find a way out of this hellish place. A flicker of movement in the darkness, a shadow shifting at the edge of my vision. I spun around, heart pounding, but there was nothing there. Or was there? The air was thick with the feeling of being watched, hunted. The demonic energy was toying with us, reveling in our fear. We were prey in its domain. We found a door, sealed shut with rusted bolts. Scratched into the metal were strange symbols, twisted and ancient. They radiated an aura of power, of something dark and unholy. This was no ordinary door. It was a gateway, a portal to somewhere else. I could feel the pull of the demonic energy emanating from it, beckoning us closer. The air crackled with energy. The temperature plummeted. The demonic presence was all around us, a suffocating wave of malice. We were trapped, caught in its web of terror. I could feel its icy grip on my soul, pulling me down into the darkness. This was no ordinary haunting. This was something far more sinister, far more powerful. We escaped that night, but the experience left its mark. The air was thick with fear, and every shadow seemed to move with a life of its own. We ran, our breaths ragged, hearts pounding in our chests like war drums. The darkness seemed to close in around us, a suffocating blanket that threatened to swallow us whole. Each step felt like a desperate bid for survival, a frantic race against an unseen terror that lurked just beyond the edge of our vision. The hospital's demonic energy clung to me, a chilling reminder of the darkness that lurks beneath the surface of our world. The walls seemed to whisper secrets of long-forgotten horrors, tales of suffering and despair that had seeped into the very fabric of the building. Every creak of the floorboards, every flicker of the dim lights felt like a ghostly presence reaching out from the past. It was as if the hospital itself was alive, a malevolent entity feeding off the fear and anguish of those who dared to enter its domain. I had looked into the abyss, and the abyss had looked back. In that moment, I felt a connection to the countless souls who had suffered within those walls, their pain and torment echoing through the corridors of my mind. The darkness was not just an absence of light, but a tangible force that seemed to reach out and touch my very soul. It was a reminder of the fragility of our existence and the thin veil that separates our world from the unknown. Some places are best left undisturbed, their secrets buried beneath layers of time and decay. The hospital stood as a monument to the past, its crumbling walls and shattered windows a testament to the passage of time. Nature had begun to reclaim the building, vines creeping up the sides and roots breaking through the floors. It was a place where the past and present collided, a haunting reminder of the impermanence of human endeavors. The secrets it held were not meant for the living, and those who sought to uncover them did so at their own peril. This hospital, however, will forever be a haunted place, a testament to the enduring power of evil. Its presence looms like a dark shadow over the landscape, a constant reminder of the darkness that can reside within the human heart. The stories of those who suffered and perished within its walls will continue to haunt the memories of those who dare to remember. It stands as a warning, a symbol of the consequences of tampering with forces beyond our understanding. The hospital may be abandoned, but its legacy of terror and despair will never be forgotten.